This podcast is brought to you by Onnit. Go to Onnit.com and look at the great selection of supplements. If you find something you like, press in code Joey and get 10% off delivered right to your house. What's happened, you bad motherfuckers? It's Monday, the 9th of May. The Joint is brought to you by Sheath Underwear. Listen, if you listen to The Joint, you probably got a fucking huge dick, and you're probably sick of reaching down to get it unstuck from your balls. Thank God there's Sheath Underwear. Listen, it keeps your balls off your legs. The idea for Sheath came across its founder, U.S. Army soldier Robert Patton, during his second tour in Iraq. If it worked for him, it'll work for you. These fucking underwear are tremendous, comfortable. Support the show and support this awesome veteran-owned company. Go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code Joey. I'm going to get you 20% off your first order. Just go to sheathunderwear.com and take a look at the designs. They have a little pocket under the ball sack just in case you're a part-time smuggler. I'm telling you, they're tremendous. Every order comes with a Sheath Underwear, 100% money-back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code Joey, Joey. Get Sheath Underwear and let them support your fucking tremendous nuts. That's sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code Joey and get 20% off your first order. This is tremendous. I'm talking about Bespoke Post. Shake up your daily routine with Bespoke Post and their new box of awesome collections. I got one sent to me yesterday. Let me tell you what was in there, okay? I got 4 whiskey glasses. I got a bottle to put the whiskey in. There's a name for it, but I don't know what it is. I'm not intelligent or educated like that. They sent me a one-hitter that's tremendous with a little joint holder and a little pouch. Fucking beautiful. But they sent me a knife. I'm not talking about a little fucking, camping knife with a toothpick in it. I'm talking about, this is a Rambo knife, Jack. Bespoke Post partners with small businesses to bring you the most unique goods every month. They got collections for every part of your life, like their Scorch Box with hot sauces from all over the country. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com and they'll help pick the right box for you. Each box is valued at $70, but you only pay a fraction of that. Plus, 90% of everything in each box is from a small up-and-coming brand. It's free to sign up, and you could skip a month or cancel anytime. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter code Joey at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code Joey for 20% off your first box. boxofawesome.com, code Joey. Let's get this party started. It's Monday morning. We got some shit to talk about. Jimmy Shubert is in studio.
Check 1, 2. Welcome to Uncle Joey's Joint.
What's happened, you bad motherfuckers? It's Monday, May the 9th, my mother's birthday in hell. Well, that's where I think she's at. Anyway, it's a fun-filled fucking week. I hope you guys had a great time on Cinco de Mayo. You jumped up and down, you crashed the car, you got a DUI. That's when most DUIs happen. On Cinco de fucking Mayo, people lose their goddamn minds. But it's going to be a great week. It's shitty weather today, but I got my man, Jimmy Two Shoes Shubert, in studio, Philadelphia's finest. What's going on, Tom?
Nothing much. What's up, brother?
Nothing, fucking here in Jersey. It's a rainy fucking day. You came by.
Yeah, I came by, had a slice of pizza, hung out. I missed you, because I got out of L.A. too, bro.
Dog, we got on the fucking first train out. Me, him, Rogan, We won the first train out, Jack. Fuck you.
Everybody scattered. I wound up in Delray, Florida. You're up in Toms River, New Jersey. Up there. I mean, it's freaking. It's it's.
Fucking Steve Simone's in Florida, Lee's in Boston.
Yeah.
Half of fucking comedy's in Austin.
Yeah.
You know, and I gotta tell you, man, I saw Roseanne on stage in Austin the other day. She went down there and was fucking around with Joe and Ron White and stuff.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest with you, I think it's gonna be, I want to do some comedy, some sets. And I think I'm gonna go down there for a couple days.
Oh, you should.
And just do a couple sets with those guys. It seems like they're having a good comedy time.
Well, yeah, I was just down there. I did the Romo Room, but I was down there. I did an episode of Kill Tony. I mean, these guys, that Vulcan, gas company there, right across the streets, the Cake and the Creek and the Creek and the Cave. But they're like right within a 2-block area. And then, Joe was looking at a building down there, I know. So it's going to be, I mean, that whole area is going to be hopping.
And what's going on with the club that was there all those years?
What's interesting?
Margie?
The Cap City Comedy Club. But that club, they closed and then it reopened. I think at some point somebody looked at that building and thought maybe they're buying it, but they put like a big price tag on it. It was like, no, not really. We can do anything you want, I mean, they should have done that, but I remember it was a pretty decent room. It had a real nice big showroom, and on the outside by the bar there was another little stage there. It was a nice club, but I think they went out of business.
I heard that Margie, her mate of many years, passed away right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So she wasn't doing good when the pandemic hit, and then she was looking to sell the club, but they put a heavy price tag on it. That could have been a very easy move to Rogan.
Yeah.
But they put a big price. They sold $100 million, and they wanted to add, and that mall is it looks like a mall in North Hollywood.
Yeah.
A bodega, karate school. It
didn't have character.
No, it's missing. You can see a good fucking wind blowing. That club is gone. But I went down there and I was very impressed with. I didn't go out that night. I had to come right back. I think I'm going to go down there in May and then one time in June.
I went down there, and so we're at the Creek and the Cave. And then the back is just wide open on it. And it's Tony Hinchcliffe, it's Brian Redfern, it's Adam Egan, from everybody, like the manager was like Mitchell. They were all like, I felt like I was behind at the Comedy Store, but they were all the LA people, all the Comedy Store people were there. It was a blast, man. I had a great time with those guys.
And for me it was, listen, I'm too fucking long in the tooth to go down there and think I'm going to plant fucking whatever, But it's nice to just, I like seeing those kids doing that.
Yeah.
I really like seeing those kids fucking grinding it out. It does something to me. Just because I don't want to do it at that pace anymore doesn't mean I don't encourage people to fucking do it. So it's kind of nice. I like what they're doing down there.
Yeah, it's a real scene, man.
It's Hollywood without the fucking Hollywood. So it's got to be beautiful. Anytime there's stand-up and there's no Hollywood involved, it's as pure and as down and dirty as it could be.
Yeah, man.
So, when you see guys like Jimmy, myself, we went through that scene. I mean, Jimmy was there with Kennison. Jimmy was there when it was really mattered.
Yeah.
So,
no, it was crazy.
Yeah, when it really fucking mattered, Jimmy was there. So think about it. I mean, we're a little older now. I mean, if I didn't have Mercy and the fucking wife, I would go on the road with the goal for somebody to find me dead. That's it. What are you going to do? If you don't have a wife and a kid, you're going to go on the road, get your dick sucked, orgies, light your nutsack on fire. You're going to do all these things because there's no anchor. When I didn't have an anchor, the road was fucking a magical place. It was the Wizard of Oz. I didn't know where I was going every weekend. I was going to Houston, but I ended up in a fucking white supremacist camp, snorting coke in Beaumont, Texas, saying I hate Jews. That's just the way it is. That's the adventure that comedy gives you. That's the adventure if you're in for that adventure. Once you're married and you have a child, listen, man, the last 10 years I did comedy. And I got to be honest with you, all I thought about was them giving me that check on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's all I gave it. Once you gave me that check, the pictures disappeared. Mm-hmm. So what's going on in America? I don't know. It's over. You gave me the check. It's over.
Yeah.
There's no more pictures. The only thing I have on my mind is going home. I wish I had the money to fucking take a jet home right now. The hardest thing of the road is after you get that check, waiting for that fucking plane, waiting for that car to call you at 5:55, going, we're here, and you're like, fuck, hold on, I gotta smoke a half a joint, and then you get in there. That's all I loved about it, was getting paid. That's why I'm doing what I did. Thank God I fucking came to that conclusion. That was the best part of my weekend. The best part of my comedy weekend was getting to a town, eating that first dinner, that first good restaurant dinner, or whatever that city has to offer. That, to me, is fucking king. Knowing you have a show at 8 o'clock, it's sold out, and knowing you're going to go back to your room, smoke a fucking pound of weed, and watch fucking HBO Max till 4 in the morning, because you ain't got radio Friday. All you got to do is get up, go to breakfast, go to the fucking gym. That's it. You know, that's life. I love that shit. But that hotel stay now, Saturday, I'm ready to commit suicide. I'm ready to pull a Chris Cornell. I'm ready to pull a belt around my fucking neck on Saturday, because that's why I have Jimmy here, because I don't want him to sit in a hotel room on a fucking Saturday. Yeah. I didn't forget that shit.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is you're right. You just, once it gets to a point, like I've been everywhere in America probably.
Everywhere.
Probably 15 times, like just touring around all over. And then, like they're doing getting to do those military tours where you would go to or you go to Asia. And I go, yeah, I would go, but I was just doing it because it was different than like I would get to go to Asia. Well, plus, first off, I know people work their whole lives and save money to go to see Beijing and the Great Wall of China and Tiananmen Square and all. And I'm like over there, I literally essentially fly to Beijing for a one-nighter. I had 2 days off, so I went and saw Tiananmen Square, and then we I went up to Shanghai. But I'm going, at least it was something different than just doing the road in America, you know. Just have to break up the monotony of it. Like I would do those military tours. Or someone like me, Steve Byrne, Pedro Hernandez, Drew Carey calls me and goes, "Hey, Jimmy, Drew." I go, "Hey, Drew." He goes, "Hey, we're thinking about maybe bringing you if you wanted to join us. We're going to Afghanistan to do shows." And I go, "Yeah, I was thinking about going there anyway. You know, it's lovely this time of year in August." He starts laughing, and then we got you're flying into these military, like they're gonna fit you for a Kevlar vest and a helmet. And you're on this Alpha class Chinook, and you get an Apache Escort, and they're firing countermeasures off the back, and I'm sitting there I'm not nervous, and Drew Carey's got the helmet down, he's people. I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, the guy's you got 2 shows on television. Why? Well, he used to be a Marine, so these were the kind of things that he would do. Like, it was like, I do this because I feel bad for these guys. But, I mean, that's like adventure travel. You talk about just the basic stuff, because you're going, it's 24 hours of straight flying to get to Doha, Qatar, and from there you're on a C-130, and then you're on these things, doing these forward operating bases, and we're getting off the chopper, and you get to the guy goes, "What are you doing here?" I go, we're the comedians. He goes, "Yeah, but what are you doing here?" We must be so horrible. He goes, "Come on." But I mean, it was kind of, it got to the point, it was better than staying in a hotel room and, somewhere in, Podunk, Iowa.
It's so weird, the journey of the road, It's fucking like you go as a feature act. And you go, and then they like you at the club, and they bring you back in 6 weeks, 6 months. Yeah. Then you come back to 6 months, and now they know who you are, you know who they are, they're very nice to you, very nice to them. And then you meet a girl on Friday night. You do a couple lines with her. Saturday, you swap some spit, maybe you suck her titties, and you promise you'll call. I'm not going to sleep with you because I don't want to be one of your groupies on the road. Okay, whatever. I don't have no groupies on the road. I just date chicks that do blow and have dirty feet. That's all I look for. So then you come back to that thing, and now you do coke with her, and she actually sleeps with you. And you have a nice weekend, then she tells you she doesn't want to have a commitment, and you don't give a fuck. You just go to the next town and hope there's a freak there too. And then you come back again a year later, and this time she comes to the show and hooks up with you, but she tells you, "I got a boyfriend. We can't do that no more." And you're like, "God damn it." But he wants to meet you, and all this shit. Now you got to meet her and the fucking boyfriend. And then the next time she calls, she's like, "Well, we going to meet?" "Not really. If you're not licking, I'm not buying." You know what I'm saying? So take your fucking romance somewhere else. It's so weird. You see these people grow up. You go to these, I didn't have the opportunities that Jimmy had going abroad because I'm a fucking criminal. I got no fucking passport. So I got stuck going over and over to the same clubs. And I got to tell you something, honest, I really enjoyed myself. I got to say, in all the American cities I went to, there was maybe 2 cities I did not like, and I can't even think of what they are now. Because part of the reason why I got into comedy was to see the United States.
Yeah.
When I would read those comic biographies, they would talk. They would always mention, when you read the Allman Brothers, all those books, they talk about these podunk towns. Anybody could go to Chicago. Any idiot could go to New Orleans. Go to Lafayette, Louisiana. You know, go to fucking... These are the places. It's funny when you have a conversation with somebody as a comic, and they don't know you're a comic. And they're like, I'm from, St. Louis. And all that. And you start spitting out, and they're like, what the fuck? And then they're like, how do you know? How do you know that area? And you're like, what high school did you get? Because you hear. Now you know people. They start talking about high school. And you're like, did you go to LaSalle? Oh, how did you know? You're a brain reader. No, I'm not a brain fucking reader. I've been here. I've been to that, I was talking to somebody the other day about Mishawaka. They were like, pale. They're like, how the fuck do you know about Mishawaka? Mishawaka is a part of Indiana. It's where Indiana and Michigan meet on the bottom. It's on top of Notre Dame. Fucking tremendous little thing. And they used to have the Funny Bone there.
Yeah.
By Notre Dame. It was a fucking... The guy booked you all the time because nobody wanted to go there.
And you had to go... I went to go to Notre Dame for lunch. You had to see the touchdown, Jesus.
Fucking tremendous. Tremendous.
I got a Notre Dame football jersey, the sweatshirt. You go over there...
That's what you do.
You go, what's the best thing in the town? You go find the meal, what they're famous for. Oh, you got to try this. So the food's cool. And then every once in a while, Mishawaka. And I'm telling you, the only thing in that town is Notre Dame. I mean, around it, it's kind of...
Now it's different. That was 20 years ago. Now it's, it's a fucking, but I remember going up to Ishpeming, Michigan. That's a little fucking, that's a little island on the UP, the Upper Peninsula, where fucking it's, summer is 31 degrees. Like that summer, you get hit with snowballs that are soft,
Well, there's a company called Creative Entertainment.
Yeah.
Back in the day, but they booked the whole southeast region of like the United States, and so you could do a Tuesday night in, going over to Cedar Bluff, Virginia. Then you're driving over to Prestonburg, Kentucky, and down to Knoxville for the Friday and Saturday. And like you felt like a trucker, really. Like you're putting 1,000 miles, but you get to know the rules of the road real quick. It's like you follow the truckers. If you're driving, whatever the truckers are doing, you're doing. You're getting your gas over there, we're getting our gas over there. If the truckers are eating here, I'm eating here. I mean, you would just go because literally, I would put 1,000 miles a week. Oh my God, just driving to these towns. But you get to see America. That's for sure.
In the fucking purest form, bro.
Philadelphia, Mississippi, bro. There's a place called Philadelphia, Mississippi. And Philly, man. It ain't like Philly, bro. It was like, it was a real kind of...
And I'm going to tell you I'll tell you what makes that better. When you go to these small American towns and you actually have a great fucking time. You have a great time. Like I'll never forget this. I went to, what's the town? So it's Seattle, Idaho. I went to Idaho with Rico. This guy was 6'6" and black. Not just black, real black. And to make it worse, he had a spider tattooed on his face. Like he did it with his beard. You know who the guy is?
Oh, yeah.
Up in Seattle. Good friends with Mitch Hedberg, good friends with Stanhope. Great, just an all-around guy. He told me he was a criminal from the Bronx, so one day I got into a fist fight and I had to hide in a garbage can. So I called him and I told him to pick me up. I'm in the garbage can by the tornado in Seattle. And I fucking look out the garbage can and there's Rico, 6'5", a mile away, going like this. I'm like, Rico, everybody could see you. Even the cops, if they're fucking watching, they can see you, a big black guy. So we take him to fucking Idaho. It's a 1 week run. It's not Tribble. It was Donna Richards.
Yeah, but it seems like a Tribble run. But
This was the 8-ball in. Tremendous. The 8-ball in. Fucking I go up there with Rico, the blackest man in the town. So what is this motherfucker doing? The next day I get up, I bumped into a fucking gram of coke, and I get up, he's calling me, we're gonna go eat breakfast. All right, we gotta drive to whatever. We go down to the diner. He walks in, everybody turns around. It's like E.F. Hutton. He's 6'5", 300 pounds, black with a beard of the fucking spider. So everybody looks at him. What do you think this motherfucker decides to do? He whips out a fucking mat, throws it down. He's a Muslim. He starts praying the thing. You want to see white? He was scaring white people to death. I may believe like I didn't know him. I just went to the counter and I just ate. When he came over to sit next to me, I'm like, I don't even know you, black man. Sit over there. And everybody's like, yeah, sit over there. Fucking coming in here playing like a Muslim. He got down, dog, in the fucking restaurant. That's shit that you can't write. That's shit that I forgot all about that till this fucking podcast.
That's hilarious.
That's the shit you can't write. The best ever was I'm on a fucking creative run. I think Jimmy pulled for me and Ken Phillips.
Yeah.
Both of you guys like, give Joey a headliner. So I take Vinny Lightbulbs with me, and we're in fucking Knoxville, Tennessee. Great town, college town, a fucking album store, second to none. I dropped my whole pay. I think they paid $175 to headline. Yeah. I dropped the whole fucking check on that motherfucker in that store. I think I got a little coke. We did like Clark, Tennessee. We did like all those burbs, and then we ended up the week in Knoxville. I get on stage. There's like 40 people in the audience. I get on stage and I'm doing my fucking jokes. They're not working. It's the Bible Belt. I'm eating a bag of dicks. But in the audience, Jimmy Shubert is the hottest woman you've ever seen in your life. I can't take my eyes off this bitch from the stage. I'm going, how is this shit in Knoxville, Tennessee? Blonde, bite-sized titties. This is 20 years. This is 1997. Maybe 98. I'm doing my stuff, and all of a sudden they want to heckle me. They want to start heckling, talking about sucking dick. And I'm like, what's going on over here? And she's like, my husband, when we go home tonight, he wants me to suck the neighbor's dick for $30. And then they go into a whole spiel about how he brings it to the job site on Fridays. He has a truck, and he puts a bed in the back, and everybody fucks up for $30. This chick was gorgeous. She didn't even know how hot she was. Nobody ever told her. Knowing her and her family, he probably bought her from her father for like $10 and a knife or some shit.
Jesus.
Like, she was gorgeous, guys. And she's telling all these stories. When he has UFC fights, and the guys come in the bedroom and fuck me during the fight for $20. I mean, this is crazy shit. So the show ends. I fucking, whatever. Thank you for coming. I go to the bathroom. I take a piss. I'm going to my hotel room. Before I go to my hotel room, there she is in the hotel lobby. And she's like, all those stories I said were true. Blah, 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 blah. I suck dick. I'm like, listen, you want to suck dick? Let's see what you got. So we go in the bathroom. We start swapping spit. She sucks my dick. No big deal. She goes, I had a great time. I'll see you later. I got to go back to my table. I go to my room, roll a joint, smoke, and I go back downstairs. There's maybe 9 people in the fucking audience for the second show in Knoxville. Vinny Lightbulbs is featuring. He goes up there. Now I'm looking at her. I'm like, what the fuck is she still doing here? God damn it. I thought it was a to-go blowjob. She fucking lurked over with her husband. And I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and she's holding on to her eye because she's hammered. It's like her 22nd birthday. The girl is fucking lit. And she's looking over at me. Now all of a sudden, Vinny Lightbulbs go, coming up, Joey Diaz. I go up, down. How you guys doing? 8 minutes, 9 minutes into my set. This chick starts crying. And then she goes, I sucked the comedian's dick, and he came in my mouth. And her husband got up. He's like, what? And I'm like, no, she didn't. And it's going off in the showroom. She's like, I sucked his dick, and he came in my mouth. And he's like, what are you talking about? You sucked his dick? And all of a sudden he's like, I want my $40. He's yelling about his $40. I want my $40. Did he come in your mouth? That's an extra $20. $40. They had to hold him. The cops came. Bro, he's like, no matter what happens, I'm getting my $40. And I'm like, holy shit. The next night I went down there. He didn't show with her. She didn't show. And that was that. Like, those are the things that you can't write. You're not going to see that on Seinfeld. You're not going to see that on Larry David. But it's so crazy. I know, listen, you're not going to see that on there. This is what happens by doing. This is part of the allure. Like, you can't read this shit in a book. Nothing prepares you for this journey unless you do it. That whole experience, that weekend, probably somewhere it helped my career, like my comedy, somewhere. Because that's what it is. You're going out into the fucking highway. You know that Judas Priest song, Heading Out to the Highway?
Yeah.
I got nothing to lose at all.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, but it's like when you watch like when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock on the Academy Awards, and like in my I said that was probably one of the most unprofessional fucking things I think I've ever seen. While simultaneously on Chris Rock's part being the most professional thing to be able to hold it together. I mean, that guy able to hold it together and then just like kind of go on and present the show. And I said, that's that stand-up training. You got to do stand-up training. Like it's like, I mean, I'm telling you, he was probably like shocked. I was like, I just got smacked on what? Like, what the fuck just happened? But he's dropped into that stand-up gear and go, okay, we're going to bring the presenters up and just kind of do it for her. I think once you got backstage, you probably freaked out a little bit like, that motherfucker is really fucking smart. That's fucking insane.
That's a good point. I never thought about it from that perspective because it's true.
It's stand-up training.
A true stand-up, when you're doing 20 years in the store, following people, listen, if you do 20 years on a ship, you're Christopher Columbus. I mean, if you do fucking 20 years from, in Green Bay and all that shit, you become really good. I mean, guys, you get, like I remember when I did the episode of Marin. Like, I hadn't acted in like a month or two. But it shocked me, guys. With the work I was doing on there, shocked me. Like, where'd this come from?
Yeah.
The 17 weeks I spent on The Longest Yard. That's a long time to be acting in a row.
Yeah.
In a row. We usually act 1 week and then we move on for 8 months.
Yeah.
Then you got 1 day and then you move on. But 17 weeks, that teaches you shit. That teaches you how to prepare the camera, how to look, how to block.
Yeah,
I could rock with anybody.
And my buddy Rob Cullen, him and his brother Mark Cullen, they wrote a bunch of shit, nominated back in the game. They put me in a bunch of stuff. But he says, he did that show called Lucky with Billy Gardell and Craig and Rob. But he said, he goes, I love working with stand-ups because you guys don't fucking flinch, It's like, a lot of these actors are like, man, it's just again, you don't even know what fucking sucks is, all right? This is fucking great. Let's get it on, Because it's like, because you do all those fucking gigs. I want my $40.
Yeah, you do all those fucking things.
Now you're acting, and that's great though. I love doing that. I love being able to mix it up.
I advise any young comic. All these young comics have these new fucking brainwave ideas about, they're all focused about social media. And I get it, guys. I get the social media angle more than anybody. I love it too. But I'm going to tell you something. The most important thing you could do is to get those first 5 years and get yourself into the worst situations you can. For me, jiu-jitsu, it would be for me to go to class every day and have somebody lay on my fucking chest and me get up. It'd either be a black belt choking me and me get out from that position. That's what doing those triple runs. Nobody wants to do triple runs. Everybody wants to do the improv. Everybody wants to do a theater. But nobody wants to do these one-nighters. And guys, that's where your fucking strength's going to come from.
Plus, it's the greatest adventure.
It's the greatest adventure.
Dude, doing stand-up comedy has brought me to freaking Israel, Ireland, all over Europe, Munich, and through Germany and Edelweiss, and doing some military tours in China and Asia and South America and all over America. Like, it's a great, giant adventure, man, if you can get out there. And that's what it's about, I think. I think that's the journey of getting out there and doing it and living that life. You're right. Everything on social media, but it's you got to do that, but you also.
I watched an interview with a young comic a couple of weeks ago. He's going on the road and doing a tour, and the guy's sitting there like talking about he's got this new idea for comedy, and there's this new age, and I'm like, I've been hearing this shit for 2,000 fucking years. This bullshit, and it happens every day in America. Don't lift weights. Climb up a wall. That's better for you. Everybody's got the idea of what's better for you, but nobody wants to do the nitty-gritty work. And the nitty-gritty work, let me tell you something. I'm fucking proud that I did that nitty-gritty work because it's who you are.
Yeah.
It's who you are. It's not going to be a perfect fucking night. You're not going to walk on there. There's going to be a carpet. Dog, how many times did you work hard in your hometown when you first started and somebody got you with a one-nighter and you were expecting fucking the Playboy Club and you got there and it's like where the Blues Brothers performed.
Yeah.
When they got bottles thrown at them.
Craig
Colorado bitches. In the old days, they had Craig Colorado had fucking chicken wire with a little thing where the comic could walk in, and it told you on the fucking thing, if the room is active, if anything should occur, run to your room and call the manager and dial 911. That was the thing that Tribble put in the bottom of that. The room is active. I'll never forget that. It was Boulder on Tuesday, Craig on Thursday, Friday was Grand Junction, and Saturday was Pueblo. That was that fucking run. Then he had Potato Run 1 and 2.
I did Pueblo.
Oh my God, Potato Run is he has 2 potato runs in fucking Idaho. 2 of them. So once you finish the one, you come back the other. And here's the beauty of it. Potato Run 2 and Potato Run 1 have a room across the street from each other. So when you do Potato Run 1 on Tuesday, you're on this street. When you do Potato Run 2, you're back here. How do I know? Because I ended up in jail. Because the Potato Run number 1, some guy heckled me, and I told him to go fuck his mother. And then when I was doing Potato Week number 2, I bumped into the guy when I was eating Chinese food at the mall in Idaho. And him and his friend came up to me chewing tobacco like, you think you're a tough guy and shit. And the next thing you know, they go, we want to take you outside and fight you. I go, listen, there's 2 of you. You both want I got to fight you one at a time. And they started talking to me like, really? You want to fight us one at a time? I'm like, these guys can't be this stupid.
Yeah.
So the guy turns around. I took the tray of Chinese food. Remember, what's that Chinese Panda? Panda always throws the fucking noodles at you. Those lo mein fucking carbohydrate cancer noodles. I took the tray. When he turned around, I hit him in the fucking head. It hit him, and the noodles stuck to his head, and the noodles are falling off one by one. So I'm running out of the mall, and they're like, come back. He hit me with the noodles and all this shit. And they arrest me for fucking, I don't even know what they arrested me for. And the guy had to bail me out. They arrested me at 6, and they bailed me out at 9:05. I came out right in time for the fucking show at the club. That's what happens on those triple runs. Potato Run, I also fingered an Indian chick, and she had a yeast infection at the club because all those all those gigs start off like a comedy show, but then they turn into like a disco night.
Yeah,
you know? It's like all of a sudden they release
they start moving the chairs.
Night, and they start moving chairs.
The silver ball comes down and drops, and
they want you to host a bikini contest.
And
you have no idea, but it's all part of the fucking gig. It really is. When they start moving the chairs out and you're like, what? They're like giving you the light. You're going into your best bit. You have like 8 minutes.
And you know what the greatest thing was?
Oh my God.
It was all like the electric slide, like and you're in middle America, like, and everybody just gets out and dance. And they're doing with the cowboy boots, but they were all doing that hillbilly line dance, and they would come. So after the comedy show, the fucking place turns into a dance club.
You don't feel too good after that.
Yeah, but
like if you bomb at the show, and then it turns into a disco night, and you go up to a girl, and she's like, weren't you the comedian that bombed at the show? And you're like, okay. You just go right to your room, depressed, bro. You start crying. As you're writing new jokes, you see the tears hitting the paper and shit because the chick told you suck. Nobody really has an idea. Like the first road gig I had, they told me at the fucking lounge, you have to share the room with the guy. You know what that's like? All your life you're reading these books, Lenny Bruce, Kennison.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you get to your first gig and you have to share a fucking room with a guy with size 14 feet. He's picking his toes the whole night and shit. You're like, God damn it. You know, God damn it. Nobody will ever understand. This is why we end up fucked up. Because the beating you take early on, I could come with it.
Oh, dude, the guys with it. Couple of army cots with some bubble foam in it. I was doing this with my buddy Jeff Avalon. Jeff Avalon used to do stand-up. This kid used to do stand-up with me back in the day. He's from Florida. But I took him on the road with me, right? And we hooked up with the Ron Bennington. Was the Ron days. We did the Disciples of Comedy with those guys. And this dude now, this guy produces, he's got 3 shows coming on. He produces a show with Jamie Foxx called Shazam, Don't Forget the Lyrics, and another show. But this kid, we are on the road in this horrible club, and there was army cots with like the bubble foam. And I go, I'm not fucking staying here. You're out of here. Fuck. He goes, well, these are the accommodations. I go, bro, I have a point that I will not fucking cross. I said, I'm getting a hotel room. He goes, yeah, good idea. Let's get a fucking hotel room. I'll split it with you. I said, good. Let's get the fuck out. But I mean, like the beating you take, like to expect
so you take a beating, guys.
Just for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, to like sleep in a fucking army.
It's a fucking beating, guys.
Addict? Are you out of your?
Nobody has a fucking clue of that. You gotta tell them the story when you guys were partying. You guys were snorting coke and you broke the fucking fire hazard, and the next morning you went to eat breakfast and they put a fucking hose on your eggs, and you guys got paranoid, so you left the hotel.
No. What happened? No, we got fucking bagged up.
But I forgot about that one, did you? I remember all those good road stories. Those are good road stories.
We got all bagged. We got all bagged up. We were at Bennington's Club in St. Petersburg back in the day.
Talking to the mic, guys.
Yeah, and so I'm with my buddy Flathead, who's a legendary character. You know, the guy. He was the boy. He was my guy. He was the guy behind the guy. So we got all banged up, and so I pulled it. He's up on the second floor. And so I see him up there, and I grabbed the fire extinguisher, one of those powder ones. And so I pull a pin, and I'm chasing him all the way down the outside balcony with this freaking thing, right? And all that sweat comes down on the cars. It looks like it fucking snowed. And I have to watch my footsteps because I don't want my footsteps leading back to my door and going, oh, this is the guy who must have did it. So I get back in the room, and the next day we get up, and you see all the cars. It looked like it fucking snowed. It's like, oh, shit. And we go to this place across the street called Lenny's, and a great little breakfast joint, and I got the 5-alarm omelet. And it came with a little fucking fire hat on it. They go, oh, they must know we fucking fired the fire extinguisher from. It was fucking hilarious. And we just fucking started dying. But, yes, that's...
You know, man, it's really weird. When I was writing the book, I talked to Eric about this. It was really weird. I didn't quit comedy. Like, I think about that all the time because I had some horrible luck for a while. Like, my first 5 years, I get momentum and then something would happen. I get momentum, but I kept coming back. Like, It wasn't like I didn't do comedy. Like, I would keep coming back. Like, I would be back the next night. But it was always like somebody was banging the wind in my sails. I was never complete in the beginning because the beating that you get, you cannot... You know, there's still, dog, I grew up loving Elvis. Do you understand me? I idol. When you're Cuban, Elvis is a bad motherfucker. Elvis is a bad motherfucker when you're Irish. Yeah. Elvis was a bad motherfucker. And revisit his movies. You know, when you're a kid and you're watching Elvis, you want to fucking be Elvis. I forgot what I was getting to here.
No, but yeah, you're funny. I mean, you know, dude, I remember... I was thinking about this the other day. When I started, like when I was 9 years old, I got this a stupid fucking magic kit. But then that turned into like I started doing shows. When I was like 13, 14, I was doing, like I was getting like 5 or 6 gigs. I would go down to St. Christopher's Hospital in Philadelphia, and you would go, I'm going to just go do a show for the kids. Go, oh, that's great. And so I would do it. That's how I would get better. And you're doing shows for the kids, and you know, and come out and do that. And then all these black nurses that worked there said, well, you got to come to our church. You got to come to our church. And so, like, I go, all right, yeah. And came over, so I would get these gigs, and my old man would have to drive me into some of the worst neighborhoods in like West Philly. You know, he's in a beat up pickup truck. I got this fucking shoebox at the time, and we go in and do magic at these. And that's kind of I've been thinking about how long I've been performing. And I go, that's like I have other jobs to pay the bills in between, but this was always kind of like the goal. I don't know how to do anything else. This is my fucking life, and I still fucking love it. Yeah, you know, so.
It's really what I was getting to the Elvis thing was that I liked Elvis. Now I can't look at Elvis because I did a fucking 9-month tenure under an Elvis fucking dude, an Elvis impersonator in Denver. I had to bring him up on Wednesday nights, and I get flashbacks. Like I didn't think about it for years till I told the story, and now I'm like, fuck. I can't believe I tolerated that beating everywhere. The guy would give me a small 50. You know, tell these people what a small 50 is on a Wednesday night when you're a starving comic. It's like a $2,000 check, guys, you know?
Yeah.
So he would call me out, and I would go. He would feed me. The guy was a great cook.
Yeah.
Weighed about 300, 400 pounds. The guy was a great cook. They bought him out at one of the casinos. He was an Elvis guy for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He wanted to open up a little Italian restaurant, but he opened it up in Commerce City, Colorado, behind a bunch of truckers and shit. It was a cute little place. It only had maybe 5 tables. But, you know, I've told this story before. Till this day, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Because I would have to go up, do 15, 20. He would let me do whatever. That's why else I did it.
Yeah.
Because everybody else was giving you 10, 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
He would let you do 20. I would die 10 of those minutes. But I would bring him up. So he'd come out first as the waiter. okay? And he'd like pour the food, whatever, and he cooked too.
So he cooked.
He cooked.
Waited on him.
He had a waiter, a waitress that was like his niece, and then he came out. How you doing? Escaro, blah blah blah. And then he'd go, I'll be right back. Let me throw some garlic bread. And all of a sudden, dun 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 dun. He'd come out as Elvis. He'd give me like an eyeball, and I go, oh lady, a treat. Elvis is in the building, coming to the stage. The great Tony is Elvis. And he would walk through the thing and go up there. And I remember I'd have to sit there. And at first I liked it, you know. But then after like 20 minutes, you're like, well, how much can, it's 10 o'clock at night. And I got to put up with this guy moving his body, fat going everywhere. You could smell the cellulite powder because when you're fat, you're dry skin, that's cellulite powder. Sometimes, like, you can smell it. Like, and I used to sit there. But you know what? I became a better comic because of it. It taught me patience. It taught me how to laugh at myself. When I lived in Seattle, there was a booker that didn't like me. I called her a fucking witch one night. I didn't like her either. But she had good rooms. And I called her one day and I go, listen, I know you don't like me. I'm not looking for a booking. Can I do guest sets in your room? And she would go, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I could care less. So I knew she hated me. So every Wednesday I'd call her and go, hey, I'm going tomorrow night to do your show. Every fucking week I would call her.
Right.
And one day she's like, you're such a fucking loser for doing these rooms for free. And I'm like, not really. You're the fucking loser. You're fat, you're sitting on your ass, and at least I'm doing fucking better shows than I'd be doing if I was a regular open micer. I'm doing them in front of David Crow and all those Seattle guys, and I'm getting better. I'm improving. So what? You don't pay me. What do you pay anyway? $25? I'll do it for free and be better than you, and I'll fucking come back 10 years from now and tell you how you sucked as a booker. I'm better than you as a comic. It's a shame she died. So I never had the opportunity to come back and call her a fucking dead witch. Fucking cocksuckers. But it's a real journey. And I have a lot of guys on the Patreon that are young comics, and they ask questions and stuff, and I encourage them, to stay in the game. There's nothing like getting shit on, and then how about getting shit on and bombing? How's that drive home for you, pal?
Yeah.
And not getting a dime for it. And you were supposed to be home at 11, but it's 12:30, and you got to be up at 6 for work. So you just ruined today, and now, but when you're a comic, you know that it's like being a street person. Tomorrow's another day. Somebody kicked my ass today, but I'm going to go home, eat a roast beef sandwich, and I'm coming back. And you better be ready for Uncle Joey tomorrow. And guess what? If you beat me up again tonight, I'm coming back Thursday. That's comedy.
Yeah.
That's comedy in the beginning. And if that's not what you want to do, don't get involved in it. If you think making funny jokes on Twitter is going to get you, go ahead. But you're not. Yeah, it's going to get you going for a little while. You're going to sell out big shows. You're a big shot. But what happens when you get an opportunity presented to you and you can't cover the fucking spread because you never wanted to do the work? It's like when people want a headline but nobody wants to MC. Fuck you. You're not going to make it. Because the MC is the quarterback of the fucking show, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to navigate the team, how are you going to get to the fucking promised land? So think about that.
Yeah, I've always said that. You're gonna be great. You're gonna be a great MC. That way, you'll be a great feature act. If you're a great feature act, then you'll be a great headliner because you know that the show.
Because you know the
show. Yeah, and so, I don't know what you got to do it. There's no shortcuts, and that's the one thing I love about comedy. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You can fool all the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. And you can rest assured, and I'm telling you that you'll come up. The first time I worked with Kinnison, we were doing this place called Bogart's in Cincinnati, and it was this big weekend freaking thing. There's a fireworks show. It was tied in with this radio station. It was like a giant event. And it was the first time I'm on the road with Kinnison, and I go out, and man, I blanked. I blanked for like 30 seconds, and someone yelled something. I said, shut the fuck up. And it got me out of it, and I slowly got the set back and started getting them. And by the end of the set, I had them fucking going. I was able to go, okay, I kind of pulled it up. I pulled out. I was headed for the side of the mountain, pulling it up. We did the white knuckle pull up. And then I walk off. I said, that's it. I'm probably not going to work with Sam anymore because I forget. And he said to me, I would have rather have you seen that set because now I know you can handle it. There's not many guys would have tanked that set. You were able to pull it up. Now I know you can handle it. Some guys would have just fucking continued down. But You got to do those things until you can do those things on stage. Like you said, you if you don't do all those other shows, all those little shows, you won't know how to pull it up and save a set. So,
like, it's interesting. I didn't get on stage for like a year. I got on stage a couple of weeks ago at Uncle Dino, with my man Dino, Uncle Vinny's.
Yeah.
And then Thursday night I went with Carlin, and Saturday night. And it's funny how, the first set just blew up my head.
Right.
It just scrambles you the night I went with Tom Segura.
Right.
Then the one when I went with Dino that night, I was struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
I could feel myself digging. The set I did Thursday night, the Stress Factory, I felt it. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's back.
I'm 3/4 back,
Yeah.
I'm 3/4 back. I'm light on material, but I'm 3/4 back. So Thursday night I had a hard time sleeping because I came home and I had to go back to the basics. I had to watch my favorite anything for comedy, for back to basics. It's Rodney's special when he has Kennison, Roseanne.
Yeah.
That is, if I ran a comedy camp for a week, and made people pay me, I would show that every night and break down each set. Hicks following Dice is a brilliant set. Sam following Schimmel or somebody is a brilliant. There's a couple things that if you watch those sets, you will learn so much to a degree, and then you have to go out and fucking.
It's interesting, yeah, because I talked to Sam about that. We talked about that. I said he goes, that was the one thing that it was one of the things that kind of like put the pivot to launch him. It was a planned series of things that happened to him after that where he blew up. But he said this was the one thing. He goes, we got there with these guys, and he said I sat there and I went over every single word of my act with the director. He goes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So he goes, cover. He goes, well, we could shoot, And when I always remember that piece of advice. It's like he sat there. I did the same thing when I shot my Comedy Central special. Like I went over everything, and that's why I was able to get out. Like I look back at that set. I'm a finger bag and a midget. A fucking a Siamese twin.
Oh yeah.
But the director just shot around. Because I took the time and put the time, and he shot around all the stuff, so I got away with it. I couldn't believe what they got away with. I mean, before they go into the edit room, I sent over half a case of wine. I said, "Hey, here's a couple glasses of wine for you guys. Just don't touch the airplane bit and don't touch the fucking conjoinal twin bit. We're good." And boy, they did me fucking right. They did it. They did a great job. But I mean, I only because I heard Sam say that. He goes, "Take your time when you're getting ready to film something. Go over every fucking note or every little thing, so they know what's going on." And you'd be amazed how many people didn't do it. Like the week we were doing those specials many years ago, but I mean, guys would just come out, on a fucking skateboard.
I was not a good special shooter, but I reviewed my special the last 2 years, and I saw where I went wrong. And it's really fucking weird how, I have to relearn again. Like, this is the stuff I'm looking at that's making my dick hard, because it's making me think of that apartment in Boulder when I used to go home at night and sit and look at a notebook and look at Judy Carter's fucking book, and But to add to what you were saying, if there's comics watching, or anybody for that matter, I went to a writing workshop. It wasn't a stand-up writing workshop. It was a writing workshop when I got to LA, and I took one thing from that workshop, and the guy, we were talking, he goes, anytime you review something before you present it, like we were talking about pitching.
Yeah.
Pitching shows. And he's like, it's so weird how I gone on pitches with people and they've had a tremendous product, but because they pitched it wrong, they didn't sell it.
Yeah.
And they weren't prepared. And you really don't want to go in there with like a sheet. You want to be able to, they want to see you, what you're having a pitch. And he goes, I did a study. For years, I would do percentages on pitches.
Yeah.
And he goes, people who went over a pitch, like if we went over a pitch an hour before the meeting, the show had a higher probability of selling. So I took it as, before I go on a stage, when you go on the road, you don't really have to write on the road unless you really want to. You can write whenever you want. But an hour before, I go on stage on a Friday or Saturday night, I would always wash my pussy, come out, dry myself, whatever, hit the vapor pen, put my pants on like a shirt, and go over my set.
Yeah.
Lightly. Lightly. I don't want to know it like a script.
No, because you want to be able to jump around.
I want it to be organic.
Yeah.
I just want to know it. And then I would turn the page over and write, like, let's do this set with number 2 first, number 8 second. And I would do shit like that. And it would, I tell you, man, it helped a lot. It's a big fucking percentage for you to do better. So if going over your material before you go on stage, that's always been a plus. And I went over it when I shot the specials, but I didn't go over it the right way, and I didn't prepare the right way.
Yeah.
There's a way to prepare. See, how Jimmy and I were talking about this before we started the podcast. When I met Jimmy in 97, Hollywood was completely different than what it was now. They took a comic, they put him on the road 15 weeks of the year, and then the other 10, 12, 16, because remember, when we got to LA, they were shooting 26 episodes in a season.
Yeah. 26 episodes of a
26 episodes. That's 2 13-season episodes. That's 13 weeks. If you're shooting TV, there's going to be a break, so probably 16 weeks times 2. That's 32 weeks. So let's say you're on 10 of those episodes. 15 comedy weeks, you're working 25 weeks. That's a good fucking living, and you'll sell tickets. Comedy shifted. Agents weren't pushing comics anymore for TV shows. TV, on the other hand, TV started paying shit. Money on TV went low. When I got to LA, a guest star was 15 to 18,000. Now a guest star is 7 to fucking 10. These streaming services, they don't give you residuals. So it's a one-time payment. So now comics are like, wait a second, I got to do this for I got to do a co-star for $3,500, but I could go to Pennsylvania for $8,000. It's a no fucking brainer.
Yeah, I've had to do a couple negotiations like that.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
I was going to wind up canceling 4 gigs where I was making like fucking $6,000, and this lady had me doing this, like trying to. We're going to need you for these weeks. We're going to need you for this week. We're going to need you for that week. And I go, well, how the fuck is it that I can make more money on the road doing stand-up than you're going to pay me for doing this movie? I said, how is that even possible? I go, because, at this point, I could just go, I don't want to do it. I want to do the role. I said, but look, work with me a little bit. She got the money up close enough, and so I canceled a couple of gigs and made myself available. It was fine. But, and you expect, but also the negotiation. Like, when we talk about not just the work, but you wind up negotiating and booking yourself on the road, and you learn about the business side of it more than anything. It's like, I swear to God, it's like a lot of these, I'm so... I had to do it your whole life. Even though you have agents, you have managers, lots of times you're still managing your manager or agent and your agent, or just trying to figure out, or people call you directly, you're negotiating a gig, and it's like, corporate gig or whatever. And so, like you said, sometimes these people don't even give you all the information. They don't tell you when you're up for something because they don't want you doing it. They'd rather have you on the road because that's how they make money. And so it's
the business changed a lot. But stand-up is stand-up.
Yeah.
Stand-up will always be fucking stand-up. It's 4 brick walls, a microphone, and it's you against the world, motherfucker.
And I don't know.
That's it.
And I don't know about you, but especially after the last couple of years. I'm telling you, people come up and people forgot how to fucking laugh. Oh, my God. Like, they would come up and just grab me and go, thank you so much. Like, I needed that. Like, it was so, it was like we were doing a mitzvah for these people. They were like, there's the last 2, and this last 2 years has been tough on everybody. Like, just in what your life and different things and family functions and gatherings and celebrations. We're a social, interactive species. We need, but now you put a mask on, so you're just a faceless fucking human, and you can't do this. You need to, your papers are not in order. No, my papers are in order. Check them again. But it's like, it's crazy shit. It was fucking insanity. And so everybody just kind of got caught up, and now people are starting to kind of get back to normal. And I'm telling you, people came up and go, man, thank you so much for tonight. Like, people need it more now than ever, I think. And so that also, turns me, it gets me excited to do. And I love writing on the road. I like taking a bit that I get polished up. And so going on the road, I'm going to drop a new bit into my show.
What a fucking great feeling that is to create.
Yeah.
To create is
Dude, so yeah, and you're getting a round of applause with it because you go, now I got, 90% of the work I'm doing is on the paper now. I've been performing for so long, but I want to go on. I mean, for me, I love coming up with a hunk of comedy that just, and you get every time you get a round of applause there. You go, and the people are fucking dying. You go, this is what that's what I live for. I love that. That's my shit, And it's a high for me too. But I freaking do. What are you gonna? Because I know guys get out of stand up. I don't want to do it. But just when I'm up, they pull me back in. Like Tim Allen, Drew Carey. I mean, these guys don't fucking need it. They don't need it. They just want it. They love it. They want to do it. People always go back. I mean, even like the older guys, like Bob Newhart would go out and do the thing. Rickles never fucking stopped. Dude, the dude was fucking 80.
I wanted to take a breather.
Yeah,
My big thing was a breather.
Yeah.
A lot had happened. You never fucking take a breather.
Yeah.
You get all this shit thrown at you. 1 minute you're fucking starving in an apartment, you're struggling to pay rent, and the next minute you're living in a house in fucking Studio City. And how did you get there?
Yeah.
Like the guy said from the Talking Heads, how did we fucking get here? Yeah. I got a wife, I got a kid, I got a bike. How did we get here? So for me, I had an opportunity to just sit, smell the roses that I never did since I was 16 and see what I wanted to do. I wasn't done with comedy. I just wanted to see where these changes were going to take comedy in the world. Nobody knew. We were dying from touching a fucking mail 2 years ago. So nobody fucking knew what was going on.
Dude, and I'll tell you, these last 2 years, same thing along the same, like, I've lost 9 friends. I mean, I love them. Carla Bow, Mitch Walters, guys I've known for years, guys who were mentors. And I said the same thing. It's like, I'm going to fucking just go, I want to just enjoy my life a little bit. Look, I don't have to, dude, I moved to Delaware. Everything is half what it was like. It's like half. I was paying $2,600 for my apartment. It's $1,350 and freaking in Florida. Like, everything's just half, so I don't have to kill myself. I'm not on the road 4 weeks out of the month just trying to make ends meet. Then you get a little bit of breather. I can slip it around a golf, do some hot yoga, drink some green tea, get my chakras on.
I saw that during the pandemic, the richest people got the most desperate. And I couldn't understand that. Like, these people have money, they're comfortable. Why are they acting so desperate? And even now, today, when you look at Instagram, look at the people who are acting desperate on Instagram and go, why are you doing this? This is just stand-up. This is fun. You're getting helicopters to shoot videos for a fucking date. What is going on here? They have blown this out of proportion.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to keep it simple. I'm not going out like that anymore. I never quit comedy. I just wanted to give it a breather, see where the fuck I was at, and see who the fuck I was at. At 59 years old, who the fuck am I? 1 minute I was doing time, fucking kidnapping somebody. The next minute I'm on stage with Dice in Vegas talking about gay people at a hotel. They were going to build a hotel, and every hour on the hour, a big black cock would come out and sperm would come out, and the gay people would be on the bottom. No. Well, 2 years before that, I'm doing time with a bunch of black dudes and Puerto Ricans, and we're eating fucking grilled cheese on an iron, and all of a sudden you're in Vegas with Andrew, and then you're in a movie with Adam Sandler, and you can't process this shit because when you go to everything's going in your mind. So I just wanted to take it down. I had the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
I'm happy I did it. I'm doing this shit now on my terms. It's to replace, dog, it's to fucking kill 6 hours a week. You know what I missed? I didn't miss going to the store anymore. I didn't miss going to a fucking theater. You know what I really missed?
What?
I miss going to Comedy Underground on Monday night and me coming up to you going, Shubes, I don't mean to bother you. How much money you got? You're like, I got 14, tough. I got 15. Mike, what do you got? 10? That's 35. We could get a half gram and we could split a cheeseburger between 3 people. And that worked just fine. Guys, that worked just fine. Do you understand me? Nobody was losing their mind. You knew what you had. You knew and you accepted it. Somewhere along the line, comedy got taken out of that context in my world. I just wanted to go somewhere on Mondays and Tuesdays and crack 10 jokes, smoke some joint with the guys, maybe pick up a hit of acid and go home. Maybe get your dick sucked by a crazy open mic chick. I love that. And it got to something else for me, and now I'm trying to bring it back to that level in my mind.
I remember, like, I was talking, we were at the Comedy Store when Damon Wayans had come in. It was after he kind of blew up, but I always loved Damon. Damon was one of my favorite comedians. He had a sense of honesty about his stand-up. He was like the closest thing I saw to Richard Pryor. Like, I thought Damon Wayans was fucking hilarious.
He was hilarious.
And he would go, once my juice is gone, I'm gone. And he would bust the audience's balls. And just as his juice would get down to the end, I would walk and give him another glass of juice. And he would start like, oh, look what I got. I got another glass of juice. And he was going to bust her balls. But I love watching Damon. But he said to me something funny one night. I go, man, I said, it's great. I said, I'm really happy for your success. I mean, that show took off and all this. He goes, yeah, man. He goes, I got to tell you something. He goes, the funnest times I had was doing the stand-up for $25 a night when you didn't, and now people are throwing $3 million at you. Okay, now be funny. And it's like what the, you know what I mean? You start doubting.
Horrible.
Yeah. Not that it's horrible, but I mean, it's like it takes an adjustment. You have to let me go take a breather. But he said it goes, the funnest nights I've had here at the Comedy Store was those nights just where you didn't have any pressure. You could just be what you wanted to be and do. And man, I was at the Comedy Store for 30 fucking years. I mean, dude, like you said, you've seen these different guys come through, and it's like I just love doing fucking stand up. It doesn't have to be in an arena. I don't gotta fly in a fucking Learjet. I just love making fucking people laugh, man. And you know, if you can do that at a high level, like, you know what you're saying? So at one point, it used to be great, to be a great fucking stand-up. It was like Carlin. I mean, Carlin, you think Carlin was running around doing fucking podcasts? No. The guy put together 21 fucking albums, 14 HBO specials. He wrote fucking 8 books. He was a content fucking monster. If I live to be 80, you'll never see anybody to put out that kind of content. It's 21 fucking albums. It's a lot of comedy.
It's a lot of comedy.
And, man, he's like, you know, to me, I mean, you know, that, like, I watch Carlin. It's amazing, you know. And but yeah, that used to be great. To be a great comic was good enough. But now you're right. You got to do, you know, social media. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
It's
I just want to be a great comic.
Yeah.
That's it. I just wanted to crack jokes, hold your attention, you know, be interesting. And I wanted, like what you said in the beginning, listen, people love when they go to a comedy show and the waitress drops a tray of drinks and you fuck with them. If you're funny and on point, people want something. They want something to kind of happen. You know what I'm saying? They kind of want something to happen, a lady to pass out. That just adds to the show. If you bring your 50 minutes of heat, you know, it's a great fucking experience. And I never really was thinking of, bro, guys like me can't retire. There's no way. I can't watch TV in the daytime. There's no way. I can't retire. I feel like a fucking loser when I put the TV on in the daytime. So what are you going to do? You got to go somewhere. You got to go to the gym.
I put the TV on in the daytime. You're right. Yeah, no.
You can't.
No.
I was talking to a friend of mine, been at UPS for 40 years. We were talking, went to dinner 2 months ago. And I go, when are you going to retire? And he goes, I'm going to die at that office. He goes, they want me to leave in the worst way. They don't want to pay me no more. 40 years at UPS. He's broken every record. He's done every job they had. He drove, he broke cases, he supervised. Yeah. And he's like, but I'm not staying home. He was telling me they give him 6 weeks a year. And his wife gets 2. And he takes the 2 with his wife. But the 4 that they give him, he works them. He goes, what am I going to do in that house by myself Monday and Tuesday? Because by Tuesday, you're losing your fucking mind. So there's certain people that want to go fishing and shit like that. In my world, you what's the expression Carmine Balzano once told me? When you stop using it, you lose it.
Oh, yeah.
You lose it,
body
guys.
in motion stays in motion.
Body in motion stays in motion. You know, I was sitting there, I thought I could fucking sit here and go to school plays and maybe semi-coach a fucking high school basketball. That's not going to happen. No one's going to hire me. Yeah. I got 18 felonies. Who's going to fucking hire me? So all I am is a dirty stand-up till I die. I'm going to do it fucking, you know.
Yeah, but you know, the good thing is you said earlier, you said, I'm doing it on my terms.
On my terms.
Yeah, but that's
king.
Yeah, that's the king. You're right.
That means that you're never going to hear me go, hey, Jimmy, hi. Can you help me with this? I'm doing a special for Netflix, and I'm trying to put together. No, get the fuck away from me. You'll never hear me say that, ever. Again, hi, can you look at this bit? Because they're coming from Netflix. Go fuck yourself, you fucking Charlemagne cocksucker. The fuck is wrong? I'll never, You have no idea, guys. You have no idea how great it is to get off a stage and some fucking witty fucking agent comes up to you and says, "Hi, I really liked your set, but I wish you wouldn't have cursed. You know what the best thing about my set is? You could go fuck yourself with your fucking faggy fucking glasses. You don't know nothing about it. If you had balls, you'd be out stealing for a fucking living. But meanwhile, you're fucking pimping out fucking comics to go around the world and put them in bad situations while you're at home eating fucking popcorn, watching the Rams, cocksucker. The fuck is wrong with these people?"
No, I used to love that. I used to love when the guys would go, the managers would come up and they go, "Hey, I got a few notes for you."
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah?
If you had any notes, you'd be somebody. But you're too busy pimping out fucking people.
Dude, here's the greatest fucking story. I'm getting ready to fucking tape my special. I'm producing my special. I got my buddy coming in to direct it. We got the fucking gear set up. I'm fucking putting the whole thing together. He goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "Yeah, I'll step in. I'll do this thing." He goes, I go, "Yeah, well, you said you were going to do that. You never did it. You said you were going to do that. You never did it." It goes, "Just, we got it taken care of, all right? I'm not going to sit around and wait for you to fucking give me permission to go do it. This was my plan all along. I didn't need you. You went in, but you didn't get in." And so he sits there that night. He comes there, and he's fucking sitting there eating like a fucking... The show sold out. We took out a bunch of front rows. There's a line out back. We shot it at Flappers, but they sold it up. We set the room the way we want it. And... dude, this fucking guy comes over and she goes, "Hey, listen, do you mind if I move you over to this table?" She goes, "We're using every seat here, but you can sit at this table and finish your meal." And this guy throws a fucking hissy fit and fucking storms out of the fucking joint like this. And I was texting him going, "Bro, I'm filming my special in like fucking 15 minutes. What the fuck are you doing?" He goes, "That fucking pissed me off." I'm glad she wasn't a fucking network executive. I wait 3 days, and I sent him a fucking email. I said, "We're done." I mean, but like these are the kind of people you're fucking like. You're gonna fucking. That's what I'm saying. Like all this fucking shit, all this stuff. I know how to fucking produce this. I know how to do it. I didn't need your fucking help. You volunteered. You told me you're gonna finance that. The thing. This guy was a fucking complete fucking douchebag. But you've run into so many of those people in fucking show business. And if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you let these charlatans lead you around. Hey, what should I do? Should I wear a sport coat? Hey, put on a chicken outfit. You'll go up. Like the advice you've heard from these guys, these managers, like fucking parasitics, would just kind of, even at the low level fucking guys would just like they manage some of these comics and wait for them to fucking become famous, and then they would fucking have to pay you off to get out of the fucking contract. That was their business plan. But I mean, it's kind of like, but you're surrounded with all those kind of guys.
I had like 3 people call me as soon as I landed here
To manage it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. And it was fucking pathetic. And I felt bad for them. And all 3 of them had no clue what they were talking about. Like, I listen, I'll hear you out.
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy, you're buying lunch, I'll hear you out. I always got something to do. It's a quick lunch. It's a quick lunch. I got to go. But I'll give you an opportunity. Right? That's what you do. You give people an opportunity. I sat with like 3 people, and they were all 3 of them were like low level. You know, and at the same time, I wasn't looking for fucking Mr. Saturday Night.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking for a kid who wants to make his bones.
Yeah.
You know, some guy that's like, you know what?
Like Gitlin. Remember Gitlin?
Yeah, he reached out the other day.
Yeah, I know.
I always speak to him.
I talk to Jeff
I love
all the time.
him. We had the same manager, Jeff Gatlin.
Yeah.
Fucking guy. If I had him 5 years ago, it would have been a different ball game. I would have slept that night. But he got out of the fucking business.
Yeah,
and went to fucking
I tell him that all the time. Me and Diaz, when you get back in, bro, but you come out of retirement.
I asked him once, and he's like, "Who manages you here?" And he started calling people. I said, "You want to go back to work?" About 2 years ago, right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who's over there?" You know, like, did you see The Sopranos when the father was going to build the house?
Yeah.
For the daughter.
Yeah.
And the inspector came, and he's like, Get on the horn with Pudgy Welsh. And he goes, "Pudgy Welsh retired 15 years ago." "Well, get on the horn with Jimmy Shubert." "Jimmy Shubert hasn't worked there in 30 years. "Well, get me Alan Alda." "Ooh, he retired about 15 years ago." That was Jeff Gatlin.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Jeff, that's it. Yeah, you can't." He was like the man, you know, he yelled. I was in the car with him one day, and he was going off on a big time. She's huge now. He was going off on her about Billy Gardell because he believed in his clients.
Yeah.
It was me, you, Gardell, Nick DiPaolo,
I think
Carla Bow,
Johnny Sanchez.
Johnny Sanchez. Yeah, they called him Batman's villains.
Yeah, he said his
roster
looked like Batman's.
That was Batman's villains. And dog, when this guy believed in you, like I didn't listen. I loved my agents that I was working with, but I really got a little upset last year, and I told Jimmy when they got accused of things, and these so-called agents fucking run the other way. These guys are up your fucking ass, guys. Wait till you hit one day, and these guys are at your shows, lighting your cigarettes, laughing at all your jokes, but all of a sudden there's an accusation from some fucking crazy woman, and they'll call you up and go, "We can't manage anymore." Well, fuck you then. Then what are we, what are we doing here?
I mean, look at I mean, you look at that, you go, these are the people I count on at
These
a
are the
time
people
of
you count on.
crisis. And these people run, because you know why? Because they're guilty, because they knew it was going on, they didn't say anything, and you allowed it to go on, instead of fucking pulling your client aside and fucking, dude, I mean, yeah, you've seen some stories over the years of different guys, and, it's...
I didn't like it anymore. And Jeff Gatlin really fought for us.
Yeah, I liked it. He ruined it. Dude, he ruined it because he did fight for it. I mean, dude, this guy picks me up. I flew in, picks me up in his car, drives me to the fucking audition, sits for me, waits outside, and then fucking drops me off. I mean, and it's for a part. I got the job. It was the Rob Williams 1 hour photo thing. And it would only work for like 3 fucking days, but still, it was with Robin Williams. My scenes were with Robin Williams. I get to fucking, but I mean, dude picked me up at the fucking airport, drove me to the gig, waited for me to come out and drop me. I mean, look, that's a fucking real manager. I mean, and people go, what do you want? Like, when people go, I don't know what, managers should be able to fucking organize. Like, you got a fucking voiceover career, you got a fucking movie career, these guys should be able to fucking coordinate and organize all that shit and also fucking have you covered, yeah, it's not that way anymore. We don't even represent.
He picked me up on a Sunday, took me to an audition. I snorted all my pay, so he took me to lunch. He drove me to this audition that was no pay. The movie didn't pay, but he wanted the reel to get me another movie. Yeah. And he got me the other movie, and I never forgot him for that. And
dude, isn't that crazy?
We were tight. I love Jeff Gatlin. If he told me something, I did it. He got me into auditions that I wasn't even in the neighborhood ready for. He got him an audition one time. Shubert went out, got a little fucking tipsy, went to the audition, fucked it up. He got him in the next day because he said Shubert had too much coffee. Do you remember that?
Oh, you know what it was? No, I literally got up. I worked with my action. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was just, I really, I drank, and because I don't know if how nerve-wracking it is. You're walking in, there's 30 people in a room that's like a one-bedroom apartment, and they're like on top of you. You just signed a contract that says if you get picked for this role, you're making $33,000 for the fucking thing. You start getting the shake, start thinking about, because you start to want it. And the minute you do that, you're fucked. But you make it too important. You can't give anybody your power. What I say is you can't give them your fucking power. Look, I'm going to make my choice. I'm going to go in. And I work with this woman named Karen West, who was like the Vince Lombardi of fucking audition skills fucking cause. She's amazing. She's still in L.A. She works all the time. Every time I turn on TV, I see her. She played, she worked with Robert De Niro. She's a fucking, one of those Ivy Yale drama school. I mean, anyway, she's a great, was a great coach, but I started booking everything with this lady. Like, she's just, you get a hold of but he did. On this one, I got too nervous, and I was like, it just snowballed.
I remember you called me and go, let me tell you how good Jeff is. I fucked this audition up, and he got me in there to read the next day, and I'm telling you, man, we were spoiled with that motherfucker. And then when I went on with other people, they were just terrible. Before we go, what do you think about Chappelle getting tackled last week? Because a bunch of people asked me, I don't even know how to fucking address it, so I'll give it to Jimmy.
Well, they really, first off, that dude got fucked up. They broke his arm. I mean, Jamie Foxx was there. Jamie Foxx, he came running out of there before anybody and stomped on the dude. And then the rest of the guys came running out. But I mean, it's Dave Chappelle, man. Dave's got a crew and a posse that love him. And yeah, the guy, it was about time. The other thing is, it's the difference between the Will Smith thing and that's completely different. I think that guy, but this the security will be beefed up, and even guys like I talk with Dino, some of these other bigger name acts that are coming, you have to hire a bouncer for them to come down to work the weekend now. But you're setting a bad precedent. If you just can't handle it, stay out of the fucking comedy clubs. Really, I mean, you look, it's I gotta tell you, I'd feel bad for anybody who would do that at my show. I certainly wouldn't fucking Chris Rock it. You'd probably get kicked. You'd probably get hit in the shin at the bottom of that mic stand, and then I would just, I'm not going to give you a chance to come up and slap me. If you breach that fourth wall, bro, I'm gonna assume now that I see what I've seen. I'm gonna assume you're gonna do something. I'm not gonna. If it happens, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't set a bad precedent. But it's.
A lot of crazy people out there, guys. A lot of people looking. It's a different fucking world.
Yeah, and you saw that guy. He's mentally ill. I mean, who brings a gun with a knife in it? I mean,
with no bullets.
No, with no bullets.
With no bullets.
What was that? I mean, that was like the stupidest thing I think ever.
The Hollywood Bowl is a dangerous place because it's wide open.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. You can just go up there in the daytime and put a gun under where you're going to sit. It's wide open.
Yeah.
It's a park. You could just put a gun under your seat. That's what I was thinking about. I know that, it's a big stage. How did that guy run across to him? You know what? When you're a comedian, you're focused and you're laser beamed, you don't really see that.
Hey, Dave Chappelle's a big guy, too.
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Listen, whether he's a big dude or small dude, I just wanted to know what you were thinking about. You think it'll happen again in the future?
I hope it does.
Certain comics... attract that. Certain comics don't attract it. I got a knife sent to me. I'll fucking put on an anti-splinter suit,
Well, it's all...
I don't even worry about that shit. You go up there, you tell your jokes, you believe in what you believe in, and there's always going to be some fucking crazy motherfucker who wants to challenge you. What are you going to do?
That's not the goal, man. My goal is to make people have a laugh and have a good time.
That's what I want.
And if you can't handle that, then maybe you shouldn't come. But I think these... People are doing it, making everything political. It's a state. It's not really. They're just jokes. If you can't laugh, you don't have a good sense. I feel bad for these people because, like, being able to laugh at yourself or having a good sense of humor connotates a men of wellness because you're able to not take things so seriously. And some of these people are just like people just get so triggered so easily. What the fuck are you?
But they got a lot to be triggered about. The last 2 years weighed deep on people.
Yeah, it has.
Between Black Lives Matter, the pandemic, losing jobs, mandates, a war. Nobody knows whether they're coming or going. I just got it together a few months ago, but it's a fucking cruel world out there.
Yeah, I call it surviving the trauma of human existence. Like just trying to put fucking food on your table, make enough money to pay your fucking bills. I mean,
it's tough.
And you get the tools you get, and if you don't have them, you should develop them because it's a motherfucker, bro. Just and live a life you want, man. Feed your soul, fill your head with beauty, and enjoy your life, man. That's it.
Take care of yourselves, cocksuckers. I want to thank Jimmy Shubert.
Thank you, Joey.
For making it happen on a beautiful fucking Monday morning here in the Voodoo Lounge in New Jersey. Where are you at next week, cocksucker?
I'm going out to Vegas. I'm doing the LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere. Working with my buddy out of Boston, Johnny Peasy, and do some shows out there. And then I'm gonna head back. I got the rest of the month off. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna do some, go do some yoga, get back with my trainer, start doing cardio, hit the beach, man, play some golf, enjoy my life. I'm just, like you said, I'm doing it at my own pace now.
My own fucking pace. It's all over, guys. I love you, cocksuckers. Thank you. Happy Monday, and I'll see you motherfuckers Wednesday morning. Tip Top Magoo. Now for a word from our sponsors, Jack. All right, you bad motherfuckers. I want to thank Jimmy Shubert for coming over to the fucking house, getting a slice of pizza. I want to thank you guys for always having my back, but most importantly, I want to thank my two new sponsors, Bespoke Post. Listen, shake up your daily routine with Bespoke Post and their new box of awesome collections. I think this is great because you order and they send you something different every month. When you open it, you're like a little kid at Christmas. You know what was in my box this month? I got a tremendous whiskey glass with a sifter to put the whiskey in, plus a one-hit and a tremendous little bag, plus they sent me a fucking Crocodile Dundee knife. It's even bigger than Crocodile Dundee. Bespoke Post partners with small businesses to bring you the most unique goods every month. They have collections for every part of your life, like their Scorch Box with hot sauces from all over the country. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com and they'll help you pick the right box for you. Each box is valued at around $70, but you only pay a fraction of that. Plus, 90% of everything in the boxes comes from a small up-and-coming brand. It's free to sign up. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter code Joey at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com, code Joey for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com, code Joey. Listen to me. I want to welcome Sheath Underwear to the company. I've had them for like 2 years. They're tremendous. If you listen to the joint, you probably got a big dick. And you're probably sick of reaching down, getting unstuck from your fucking balls or your leg. Thank God there's Sheath Underwear. Oh my God. These underwear are comfortable. They fit tight. They're nice, plus they keep your balls off your leg. The idea for Sheath came from its founder, U.S. Army soldier Robert Patton. It worked for him, and he's fucking over there stabbing people. It'll work for you. You understand me? That's how big his balls was. He come with a little pouch in the front, too, just in case you're a part-time smuggler. Let's not go further than that. But anyway, go to sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code Joey and get 20% off your first order. That's right, 20 motherfucking percent off. Every order comes with Sheath Underwear, 100% money-back guarantee. That's sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code Joey. Get Sheath Underwear and let them support your fucking huge nuts. I want to thank Sheath Underwear. I want to thank Onnit. And I want to thank Bespoke Post for coming on to the show this week. I love you guys with all my heart. I hope you enjoy the show today. Have a great week. Stay black, and we'll see you cocksuckers Wednesday morning. Tip Top Magoo with another fun-filled episode of The Joint.